Hello, everyone. This is the Reverse Sweep podcast. We are back, and we are back with a lot of news, a lot of updates, and बहुत कुछ हो गया है. But what we are going to do in this episode is we are going to dissect the recently, guys, almost 15 minutes पहले announced India's squad for the T20 World Cup, 15 plus 3.
Faster than I think Rahana's innings and test matches. That's how fast we are. Also. Stay at the crease then. Stay at the crease.
Let's not digress.
Anyway, quickly take through to the team and then we'll take the opinion of everyone we have. We have Piyush, Siddharth Jain, Pranav, Darshil and Uday. Might be some more people joining us. But yeah, Kohli, captain, Rohit Sharma, vice captain, KL Rahul, Surya Kumar Yadav. These are the 4 batsmen. Iyer is on standby. Wicket keepers, Rishabh Pant and Ishan Kishan. All-rounders, Jadeja and Hardik Pandya. Shardul is on standby. A lot of bowlers have been picked. Rahul Chahar, Ravichandran Ashwin, Akshar Patel, Varun Chakravarti, Jasprit Bumrah, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Mohammad Shami, and Deepak Chahar is on standby. We'll start with Piyush. Piyush, first thoughts about this team.
And to add to that,
and Malay, you have to add
MS Dhoni.
MS Dhoni.
That I'll add towards the end with
MS Dhoni is the mentor.
Yeah, and since you guys said it now, it has also been announced that MS Dhoni is going to be mentoring the team. He'll be traveling with them.
Bad news. That means we have no chance of winning.
Mentor or coach the OG strategist is back.
OG ICC winner is also back. I don't know why Pranav is saying we have no chance because that's
because
the only
at
guy
the end of the day,
who's won us anything in ICC.
There to he'll just mentor. At the end of the day, we know Virat will just do what he thinks is right. So what does it matter? He's only there.
But anyway, Dhoni's there, so that gets my hopes up. But yeah, let's go to Piyush. Piyush, what do you think about this team?
I'm pretty much happy with how the squad is looking like, and I'm people might not agree, but I'm actually happy to see Ravichandran Ashwin make the squad because he's someone who has been bowling in the power play in the IPL and was pretty good when we played in UAE back last season in the IPL. And many people are questioning why Chahal and Kuldeep are not there, and it's no surprise to me. They both have been pretty mediocre since.
But when Chahal were playing in Sri Lanka, Chahal was doing well. So it's a surprise, actually. Yeah.
But the thing is, Chahal has been bad in IPL. He has been bad with India.
What
you don't.
Chahal
was
not
bad
with
Chahal has been good with
I think the best
but if you have one leggy place in your team and you have Chahal and you have Rahul Chahar. So it's a no-brainer to have Rahul.
Not really.
No, am I biased?
But we are having.
I think if I am Yuzvendra Chahal, then I would be very disappointed.
Extremely.
I will tell you why. Because when you look at performances of Rahul Chahar since last 2-3 seasons of IPL and whenever he has played for India, he has looked superior bowler than what Chahal has been in past 2 years. So it's a no-brainer.
Chahal has better.
True, but exactly.
See,
anyway,
the thing
let's go one by one. We'll come to the bowlers.
This is what I like.
I think
what India have been doing bad previously was they were keep backing the players who were not doing well and they were ignoring the players who were in good form. And now what they have changed currently in this structure is they have picked the players who are in good form and who have been doing better since last 2 years.
Because if that was the case, then Siraj would have been in the team and not Bhuvi, because Bhuvi has been in horrible form, right?
No, Bhuvi has been pretty decent. He has made his comeback after the injury.
He was
injured
6 years back.
He was injured.
Bhuvi, contrary to popular belief that Bhuvi is not doing well, he has actually been performing really well.
Bhuvi was.
He's India's.
Nobody from Sri Lanka was talking him around. Anyway, let's go one by one. Obviously, bowlers will ignite a lot of debate, but let's first focus on the batsmen. Any particular batsman that you guys think missed out or you would have preferred?
Dhawan.
Yes, Shikhar Dhawan. That's right.
But with Dhawan, the question comes is, I think we are going to see KL Rahul as a backup opener and Rohit and Virat opening the innings is what I feel.
Actually, I want to stop you there. I want to stop you there. Sorry. Chetan Sharma has said that Kohli will bat at 3. Rohit and Rahul are opening and Ishan Kishan is a backup opener.
Exactly.
I
That's
just
what I
read it.
also thought.
And rightly
Kohli,
so.
while he can say all he wants in bilateral, but I don't think he'll take the risk of opening in.
Yeah, and I certainly think Rishabh
Yeah.
Pant is probably a good strong starter to play as number 5. I think that's why
What
he's
strong
been.
starter? He
Anyway,
is
let's
the guy.
let's
He is
what,
the
He's
number
the
five.
number
He is.
four, not
what I
number
wanted
There's no
to cover
competition for
obviously
him.
was is there anyone you feel obviously Shikhar Dhawan
But
rough week for
where
him.
does Dhawan
Uh,
fit in
I
the
don't think
squad?
we are missing out anybody. We have done the right thing. I
But
think Shikhar
Dhawan
Dhawan's
has been
performance
your
in.
second best IPL opener in the last 2 seasons after KL
Correct.
Rahul.
I
So
think, yeah.
yeah,
The
So,
if you
only
the
way
look at
Dhawan
SF
that,
would fit in,
series,
the only way Dhawan would fit in was if you made Rahul as a backup keeper and then got Dhawan as a
Right.
backup opener,
hmm,
which they didn't do because obviously they want to develop Kishan, right? Because if you see Pant has been inconsistent, obviously there needs to be some
but
competition for Pant in the squad.
they could have had Dhawan as a. I mean, they have picked
Sure,
what 6-7 bowlers.
Exactly.
Out
Too
of
many.
that, they'll
Probably
pick
too
Like,
many.
I don't see a
4,
spot for Varun
maybe not
Chakravarti,
even
to be
4,
honest.
sometimes even 3 because Jadeja
Why
and
Akshar
Pandya would
Patel?
both play. So they'll
Why
probably
Akshar Patel
pick
is the
Akshar
question,
Patel
yeah.
is, I think, like for like
Akshar Patel
replacement for
didn't-
Jadeja. I
Yeah,
think
we-
Jadeja is like
But
for
he
like
hasn't.
replacement.
exactly.
But then
So
I
he could
don't
have been in the reserves.
I
So
don't
doesn't have
think
to
it
be in the
makes
15.
sense to have. We have if you look at it, we have 2 left arm spinners, 2 off spinners, and 1 leg spinner. Do we really need so many? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Deepak Chahar
correct.
should have
that's
certainly been in the
what my
squad.
See,
He's a
point
good
was also.
T20
And
bowler.
See, the
even even
clear-
with this,
clear indication.
even with this, the variation that you have is absolutely nothing because you've got Bumrah and Shami who are going to play all the time. Bhuvi might
Bumrah
play,
and
might
Bhuvi.
not play.
Even Shami is a questionable pick in my
Shami is
opinion.
a question mark. Exactly.
Because-
We'll come to
Yeah,
bowlers.
we'll go there.
Let's go one by one. So batsman, we agree. Shikhar Dhawan is the one
Yeah,
who
perhaps the
sorts
only
of
you
this
could
out.
say.
Perhaps the only one. I don't feel
Only
bad
one.
for anyone
Hmm.
else.
And what would be your top 3? Let's quickly go one by one. Piyush,
My
top
top
4.
3 will be top 4 will
Top 4,
be
top 4.
I will go with KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma opening, Virat Kohli number 1, and Surya Kumar number 2 down. So that will be my top 4.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much set in stone with this
Yeah.
selection.
Yeah,
think
but I
that-
only have one
I think
difference
for
over
me,
there.
I will have
Okay,
Rohit
okay,
Sharma and KL Rahul at top. Virat Kohli one down, and then probably Rishabh Pant because we do not have any left-handed in top 4. Earlier we had Shikhar Dhawan who
Exactly.
provided that left-handed cover, but we do not have left-handed cover now. So
But
I
depending
think
on
4 and 5 can always interchange. So I think only
Yes,
top
yes,
3
it
should be
depends
fixed.
on
The
match
rest should be
situation.
completely flexible.
But as a batsman, I don't care about left right combination. You have to have your best T20 batsman get the most number of balls. So
But
that
you
is
can-
Surya Kumar Yadav.
my question
me
is
currently.
you can I mean our top
तो
3 you
ओपन
can call
करा
them
दो
the
यार
best
सारे बॉल
batsmen.
खिलाने तो ओपन करा दो यार
No,
सारे
but-
अच्छे बैट्समैन है यार
But
I actually agree with Uday here
is-
because
is-
Pant at 4 is a good option also because the thing with Surya Kumar is he doesn't necessarily need to play a lot of balls to get going. He's quite a busy player, but Pant.
But why would you want to not have Surya Kumar Yadav at 4? You want someone
Yeah,
who can blast off
I
at
don't
the
mind
start.
him playing at 4. I'm saying that even if he's not at 4, it's not it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
And
but
my
it can be
point is-
flexible.
Yeah,
Match
4
situation
down should be
dependent.
flexible. 4 to 7 should be flexible. Only
Yeah.
top 3 should be fixed. That's all I would like to say.
Before we move on to wicket keepers and Sanju Samson, a question that I would want to ask you guys is KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, all 3 very similar
Slow.
players in
Not
T20
really,
cricket. No, KL Rahul in IPL has shown that he values averages more
That's
than strike rate.
Strike rate.
that's
But
down to
but I think-
Punjab's batting order.
Captain,
his
Punjab does
role-
not
his
have
role
much
in
batting
Punjab
cover,
is very different.
but his role in India is slightly different. He has Virat
If he
Kohli,
can
Rohit
Sharma, play that role, then it's very. But
No, and also
my
Rohit-
Just see-
problem,
if you
my
just
problem
see
with
his
this is
international
my
record.
problem with this is that our past failures in especially T20 World Cups have been where you have clubbed similar ODI players together at the top and then dashers late on, right?
Exactly.
But where you compare what we did in 2007, you had Sehwag and there was a mix
Yusuf
of
Pathan.
dashers at the top.
So I have an idea. If
Yeah.
I don't think Kohli is a kind who will go for a left field pick, but what if you have Ishan Kishan and
at
Rohit
top.
Sharma opening, and you have
And then KL Rahul at
Rohit
5.
with no, sorry, Kohli at 3, and then of course 4 down. Like I said, can be flexible. What if you have a left-hander opening and give him the license to just go out there and slog
But then
with
why
6
don't you
overs
give
power play?
Rahul the license to slog? Why can't you
But
give
would
Rahul
you
the
drop then in that
The-
situation? Would
his
you
point
drop?
was
If you
that's
have
what
to-
Malay was saying that Rahul is not necessarily the guy who goes out and slogs. So what
That
if?
was my point.
Yeah. So
But
in
my
that
question
case,
is,
I
if
think
you
an
want
option.
to, if you want
I'm not
to
saying
get
they'll
in
do it.
Ishan Kishan,
I'm not saying they'll do it. I'm not saying they'll do it. I'm just saying it's a possibility if you
It's
want
possible.
somebody slightly different.
But
That's
all this debate will come to an end because how Rohit Sharma plays for India is totally different of how he plays
No,
for
but
Mumbai
he,
Indians.
but
So
he's still,
for India, he will.
but for India also, Rohit Sharma is not going to give you 70 for no wicket in 6
yeah.
overs.
He does not go after the bowling early on. in
He
any
will,
case.
but that is the reason why we have
वो फोन करके
now.
बताया क्या भाई उसको? हाँ,
You
फोन
cannot
करके
change
बताया
our
क्या?
player.
But that has been the
Yes, he will.
complete plan of how India have approached T20. Like you are talking about KL Rahul of IPL, but that is because of the captaincy and not enough batting in that
यार
Punjab
रोहित
batting
शर्मा को तो
order.
ड्रॉप कर दिया था यार, इंग्लैंड से रोहित शर्मा को ड्रॉप भी किया था पहले 3 मैच. आई वुड बी
अरे-
सरप्राइज अगर रोहित शर्मा को ना खिलाए विराट कोहली किसी मैच में.
No, that is
I
not
won't even
happening.
mind.
Rohit,
I won't
Rohit-
even mind that. I won't even mind that. You know,
Oh,
see
Anyway,
Rahul and Ishan Kishan at top
let's
and Rohit Sharma
move
on bench.
Let's move
Zyada
on to,
divert हो गया.
let's move on to wicket keepers come batsmen. I think Rishabh Pant, Ishan Kishan, everyone understood. Sanju Samson unlucky to miss out.
No.
No,
Not
Deserve
really
to
unlucky.
deserve.
Not
He deserved
really.
deserve to
I
miss
just
out.
have one interesting point on the wicket keepers. I don't know, but for certain matches, I would feel that I would want both Pant and Kishan to play.
Even I
So,
would want both.
For,
Yeah, I
for
agree.
some matches, I think we can go with Hardik and Jaddu as the 2 full-time bowlers and 3 other proper bowlers, and Jadeja and Hardik to bowl out the remaining overs quota. And we go for a batting heavy unit because in matches like Sharjah and all, it doesn't matter who your bowler is going to get clubbed.
We are not
Yeah.
playing in Sharjah. We are not playing in Sharjah.
But we are not
Yeah,
playing
because
there.
of the fixing for years and years, India has refused to play there. So I highly doubt we'll play at Sharjah.
But
But
yeah, we're
irrespective,
fixing
just on the
themselves.
grounds
My point
part,
being
I
that,
had a
my point being that we can go with 6 batsmen and then we can decide based on situation of the match. That
But the
even
problem, but the
can we
I
can
think
keep
again
Kohli
that's
can
the
go down
flexibility
to
thing. I
5.
said no, we can be flexible.
I personally think, although it's been written here as all-rounders, they picked Hardik Pandya as a batsman.
Yeah.
I really don't think that
I
because
think you'll get 1 or 2 overs out of him.
but that's
Okay, we'll
then
surely
there is
get one
then
or
there
two
is no reason to pick 6 bowlers if you don't if you have to
Yeah,
pick 3 out of them in every game and 2 of them are going to be pacers, then you've effectively picked what 4 for 1 spot. I don't think
But
that's the
then-
case. I think they've picked
But you
Hardik as a
can't
batsman.
go in a T20 match with just 5 bowlers, right?
Exactly.
So
Hardik
That's
will
Hardik is your
definitely
6th
come in
bowler.
and bowl.
Hey,
Hardik
we've
is
been
your
doing
6th
just
bowler.
5 bowlers in ODIs also for a while now.
And
so I would
that's
not
why
be
we are
surprised.
And that's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
we lose
exactly.
World Cup.
You are
That's why
right.
we lose
I
matches.
completely, I completely
think-
agree. I
So
know
I
some
think
of
that's
the
what
strategy at all.
they're doing. So they'd probably pick 2 out of on Darshil's point of having both Pant
No,
and
I'm
I
saying
think
for
they're-
some games,
No, instead of both,
games we need to. Like if
you know,
we are
what
going
I
against
think-
England, for
Hmm.
example, if you're going against England and they are an explosive side, to go to toe with them, the point is it is not going to matter who your 4th, 5th, and 6th bowlers are going to be at that in that match. If you're going
Hmm.
against some team like
I-
England or West Indies who are going to blast the smithereens out of everyone,
Especially
I
the
don't think
spinners.
it-
But then-
They absolutely
Exactly. It
destroy
won't
spinners.
really matter if you're playing a Shami or another bowler. I mean, ideally, you have to have Bumrah having a good day. You need to have Bhuvi on money. And then you have to have one of the spinners, Chahar. So those 12 overs are the ones of control. The rest 2, if you split between 2, you split between 3, they're going to get smacked around. It doesn't really change the fact. So for such
But
matches,
Darshil,
that
we
doesn't
need to
mean you
have
play a
we need
weaker
to have
bowler.
6
keepers,
batsmen.
talking about wicket keepers, this World Cup is happening in UAE. And last year, Rishabh Pant had a torrid time during IPL. He struggled a lot. So it's
Correct.
very important to see how Rishabh Pant performs in this IPL in Dubai, in
Yeah,
UAE.
true.
If it doesn't perform well, I don't think his position is guaranteed in the team. We can
Yeah,
very well
because
see
he
Ishan
can't
Kishan
even
at
field
number 4 or
properly,
number
so
5.
you cannot play him
Yeah.
as a non-keeper.
Yeah,
I
Ishan
think
Kishan
Rishabh
did
Pant is going to
amazingly
play
well
as a
last
keeper. I
year.
don't think Ishan
So,
Kishan will
Rishabh Pant
usurp
will
him as a
have
primary
to-
keeper.
He
That was an
can,
interesting time in
because
Rishabh
Rishabh
Pant's
Pant
career,
didn't have
though.
a good.
That was an
good
interesting
time
time in
in,
Rishabh Pant's career,
Dubai.
though. Gaba hadn't happened, Sydney hadn't happened by that time.
He's a different player now.
That's
Yeah, he's
that's
He's
the
keeping
still
us-
struggling. He's still struggling.
But he
this
kept
series as
really
He
well
struggled
against
England.
England on our turners. So I think he has really
I think this
T20
IPL,
doesn't matter
is
anyway.
very important to
But-
decide. This IPL is very important to decide who will be the keeper for Indian cricket team.
but
Will
I
it be
still
Pant or
but
Kishan?
I still think Pant will
still
edge.
think-
Pant will edge Kishan.
Me too. I think
still
he will start.
They'll probably pick. I mean, they will pick Hardik and one of Pant and Kishan, and that would be your 5 and 6.
So
what I
currently,
think.
what it looks like is Rahul, Rohit, Kohli,
Kohli, Sky, one of
Pant,
Pant and Pant mostly, and then
then
Hardik.
Jadeja and Pandya.
Hardik and
Hardik
Jadeja.
and
Yeah,
Jadeja.
will
Hardik
play all
plays as
games,
your
I think.
sixth bowler.
Yeah.
Jadeja, and
Jadeja
then
has
four
to play.
others.
He's a
He'll play all
super-
games. Mostly he will play all games.
So that
Sir
looks good.
Jadeja.
That looks like a good solid 7 batsman, I think.
Yeah, it looks like a good solid 7 batsman. The problem is
You do
you're
not have many
clubbing your
backups.
dashers and your
Yeah.
aggregators together. So your top
Yeah,
3 do
actually,
one thing, the
Correct.
This is a
4
good
to 6
point
do the
that,
second thing.
if even if you say that there are not very good bowlers, if you see the top 3 of India, you're not necessarily going to be worried that they might make a 60 in 4 overs or something. I mean, that's again an exaggeration, but you don't necessarily think that they'll start taking the game away from you very quickly. So that is the only one question mark. But let's hope that one of them, at least maybe Rahul, takes the role of aggressor and starts going after
Yeah.
the bowling.
No,
right from the
obviously
start.
I don't think so. Both will play slow. One will be the aggressor, and that will be Rohit. Is what I believe.
No. It has to
No,
be
no,
Rahul.
no,
I think Rohit has to
impossible.
go through. Right now, Rohit is
Keep
the
your
best
MI
batsman
love
team India
aside.
has.
Yeah.
You
Right
want
now,
Rohit
is
to bat
India's
time.
number 1 batsman. He
Yeah.
has
You
to
want
play till
Rahul to
the
bat
end.
time.
Surya Kumar Yadav is India's number 1 T20 batsman right now, I feel.
No, I'm saying
But-
across everything.
Across
considered
formats,
all
Rohit
things,
is India's
Rohit
current
Sharma is our number 1 best batsman, given form,
100%,
given class,
100%.
given
Yeah.
temperament.
No
everything.
doubt about that.
So Rohit has to bat through the
But
innings.
now again, the
Rahul has to sacrifice
question
himself.
rises is Varun Chakravarti fit enough? Like he has
Yeah,
failed.
we'll come
few
to
tests.
I will
We'll
come
come
to
to
the
bowlers.
bowlers,
We'll
I
come
guess.
to that.
Comes to bowlers.
Bowlers, I
So-
think
so I
everyone
think,
has an
yeah.
opinion on that.
All-rounders,
Individually, we
so
can.
Shardul, I feel
Shardul
has been
Thakur has come in
unlucky.
as an all-rounder. It was a very surprising thing.
Has been unlucky, in my opinion, to be left
Left
out on
out.
the reserves.
Yeah.
I felt that he had a chance, but now I think Jadeja makes the pick. And
So just a
honestly,
second, Malay,
huh.
on that aspect, actually, there was a very interesting article by Jared Kimmer, which talked about Shardul Thakur's batting exploits. It's analyzed everything that he has done so far. And all numbers suggest that Shardul Thakur has not been an excellent batsman. As in, like, yeah, we have got his 50s in the test matches, but at a domestic level, his numbers are consistently horrible. Not
16
good,
ka
they're
average,
horrible.
16 ka average. tha uska.
16, exactly, in a city like Mumbai, which is a batting paradise, correct? So, I mean, yeah, he might have batting potential, but you cannot beat the law of numbers. I mean,
Yeah,
numbers do not lie.
the idea, I think, is people haven't figured it out yet. Once people start
Exactly.
figuring out his
Yeah.
weaknesses and start analyzing,
Which is
okay, this
spin.
guy
He
is
never
probably-
attacks spin. He never
Yeah.
attacks spin. That's a very
Exactly.
known fact that Shardul Thakur
Yeah.
never attacks spin. He
That's
goes for
what
pace.
happened with Hardik also. When he
Yeah.
won first round, people didn't know how he plays on the shot. Now people have started bowling him that tennis length. And anyway, I think all rounders. Anyone? Krunal Pandya. I mean,
No,
Thank goodness.
please,
Krunal-
I
never.
don't think so.
Hey,
Only
Krunal
unlucky
I
missing
think
it out is
Krunal-
Washington Sundar is injured. That's the
Ah,
only.
Sundar is injured, so that's
Ashwin would have
gonna
not
be
played
there.
if Sundar was fit. I'm pretty certain about
But then I'm
Yeah.
surprised, like, even though they put Aksar as a bowler, I think Aksar is backup to Jadeja, so you can make him as an
Yeah.
all-rounder.
Yeah, he's actually an
There-
all-rounder. He's not
But
a
then I would,
singular-
if I was a Krunal, although Aksar is selected, and I don't have much to say about that, but if I was a Krunal,
That was
I
my
would be very
point,
disappointed
actually.
about.
Right.
Why,
That
if
was
you
my
are
point.
looking at a pure Jadeja replacement, why not consider players like Tewati? I mean, like Akshar does
No,
not offer.
Tewatia is a non-cricketer, man.
But
Tewatia
Tewatia,
has
though,
never-
the fact is,
Tewatia
never
is
played
international
well.
level.
Blue Moon,
He hasn't
Tewatia
even
is
played
not-
for
No,
India
but-
yet.
But
but Tewatia को
I
Sri
feel
Lanka
like
भी नहीं लेगा ना,
Akshar
so, I
Akshar
mean,
has a
they
higher
were not
ceiling
even
than Krunal.
considering him.
Akshar has a
Yeah.
higher ceiling than Krunal.
No way
Bowling
Akshar has a
wise.
higher
I
bowling
think-
Bowling
yeah.
wise, and
But-
Bowling
Akshar,
wise, certainly.
And fielding wise.
you've been developing
Fielding
Krunal.
wise.
You took Krunal to Sri Lanka. You've been
And he
developing him.
bombed.
There's no reason to
He-
drop him
and he didn't
for
do
Akshar
well.
Patel.
It
That's
makes sense. He
probably,
didn't do well.
I think the reason they were probably thinking the batsman चाहिए या bowler चाहिए. I think batsman is already there, so that's why they probably said कि चलो Akshar might help in the bowling. And-
Akshar is pretty decent with the bat as well. Like he had
He's a
a
decent slogger.
But
Don't
not
think
compared
so.
to Krunal.
Yeah.
I think
Krunal
Krunal
not
is a much
required.
better
Krunal is
batsman.
a proper
Yeah.
Krunal is a
player
much
in
better
such
batsman.
situations.
but
He's won
that is like a
IPL
very close
finals
call
on
between
his own.
Akshar and Krunal.
I think they would
there's a-
play
The point
anyway.
is that if you are relying on Krunal Pandya or Akshar Patel to win you a match by batting, then it's a bad.
Yeah,
we deserve
obviously.
to lose after that top
Yeah,
order.
वो
So,
obviously.
सेमीफाइनल में होगा. वो सेमीफाइनल में होगा.
Anyway,
चाहिए हो गए.
जिताना पड़ेगा.
So anyway, so far it's been Kohli, KL Rahul, Sharma, Kohli, Surya Kumar, Rishabh Pant, Ishan Kishan, maybe Pandya and Jadeja. I think that's probably what is
Seven,
going to
top
start
seven.
against Pakistan, the top 7. And then you pick 4 more bowlers, and they have picked 6 bowlers plus a backup there.
I'd like to step in first. If I
Yeah,
am allowed.
definitely. So I'll just go through Rahul Chahar, the leg spinner. Ashwin has come in out of nowhere. Akshar Patel, as we already pointed out a bit. Varun Chakravarti, the mystery bowler. Bumrah, Bhuvneshwar and Shami. So Bhuvi has kept his spot after I mean, is it deserved or not? Let's discuss that. But let's go to Pranav. Pranav, who are the 4 bowlers that you're going to pick out of this
Right.
7,
So
6?
we've picked a lot of bowlers, and I feel Deepak Chahar is very unlucky not to be in the side. I think Mohammad Shami is very fortunate because I don't rate him as a T20 bowler, to be fair.
Exactly.
And he does not have the death bowling skills to really, or a variation to really be that successful in this format. He might pick you maybe one game 4 for 40, but I mean, he's a great bowler in other formats, especially in Test cricket. But in T20 cricket, I'm not so certain why he was picked. And Deepak Chahar has been doing well enough to be
On
in the
reputation,
squad.
I think
Yeah, and
Deepak
as
would be very,
right.
like, he'll be bitterly disappointed to have
Yeah,
missed out
and
because
the last year also the pitches in UAE, Abu Dhabi and Dubai, they were actually helping the fast bowlers more than the spinners. So again, we have overloaded on spinners. I mean, Ashwin really was not required in the squad as well because he's not going to play. And if Ashwin is not going to play or even be used as his batting skill, you could have even picked a Yuzi Chahal in that case. I mean,
but
I just
think the
feel that the
reason Ashwin was picked
bowling.
was
I am
having a
totally
proper
surprised.
off
I'm totally
spinner.
surprised why Yuzi Chahal is not in the
Same.
side.
Chahal
Yuzi
has been
Chahal
there.
was there
Yeah,
with you for last 4 years.
Exactly.
Since
And
2016
he hasn't
T20
been
World
a
Cup, you have
terrible.
been
I
proving.
Yeah,
agree disagree with
He
Piyush
did
over
pretty,
there.
No, if I
he did
just
pretty
saw-
well in
Nee.
Sri Lanka also. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
but
just
the
saw the
see,
stats.
but
So
the four
I just saw
bowlers-
the
Let's
stats
go one
of
by one.
Yuzi
Uday,
Chahal.
Uday, complete
Four
your
bowlers
point.
I'd like to pick just before I finish.
Huh.
4 bowlers. So Jasprit Bumrah is a no-brainer. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar again because both of them bowl well at the death, and Bhuvi has been our best T20 bowler stats wise in the last few years. And of course, Rahul Chahar has to play. These 3 are a fixed, and then 4th one it would depend. I guess Kohli might pick Shami as well because I don't think initially the pitches are going to help the spinners much. They're going to be fresh ICC pitches that will come onto the bat nicely, and I think probably Shami will play. Maybe as the tournament goes on, you might consider playing Varun Chakravarti, or who knows, maybe he might bring an Ashwin back. I don't think so, but I think one spinner and Jadeja as the other one is the right option to go for.
Probably.
But
We'll quickly move to Piyush. He has to drop out. Yeah.
people are just not ignoring the fact that IPL is going to be played on the same wickets, and then there will be
Yeah,
a
it's gonna be
long
very
No,
slow
actually,
and
there's a
tired.
there will be a
there's
long
actually
gonna be-
there will be
No,
a
no,
long
no,
season. So as
there's
I
actually
remember,
a mistake there. They're going to use Oman also for the earlier game so that the Dubai and
Yeah,
pitches
but-
all get time to recover.
but if you
So-
go back to the last IPL, the pitches became little slow in the later half of the season, and spinners were doing quite good, like likes of Ashwin, Rahul Chahar, and even Jayant Yadav for that matter when he came in the last.
But the
final
playoffs, the
match.
pitches were
I
very
think,
good
yeah.
to bat on.
But-
I think they'll make fresh pitches for the group stage of the World Cup.
They
I
will
don't
be,
think they'll
but
get
the
tired.
thing is,
Yeah,
but the
exactly.
thing is, Dubai is a big ground, and
So is Abu
Ashwin
Dhabi.
is Ashwin
Abu Dhabi
is
is
there.
bigger.
Yeah.
Dubai is also decently big.
Dubai is very
and,
big. Dubai is really
Abu Dhabi
big.
is
and
bigger.
Ashwin
Abu Dhabi
is
is
there
bigger.
because you don't have any off spinner other than Sundar, who is injured. And
But
then
do you need an extra off spinner? We already have
Yeah,
Varun Chakravarti.
but
Do you
I
need an
don't
Ashwin?
rate Varun Chakravarti. He's like a
Yeah,
non-cricketer again.
He's the
So-
most luckiest guy to make it in this.
Yeah,
one.
That's
and
true.
Ashwin-
I agree. Varun Chakravarti
So
is a
I
great
believe
spinner.
Ashwin will get a game because likes of Australia, and if we face them, there are a lot of left-handers in England, Australia, and every side.
Arey,
So
So-
Jadeja
was
bowls
clear.
well to left-handers.
Jadeja was well to
What is
left-handers,
this?
So-
man. Why do we need Ashwin?
Jadeja
there?
bowls to left-handers.
No, but I think
Logics.
Ashwin might get an odd game, but I think
Logics.
Rahul Chahar, Bumrah, Bhuvneshwar, and Shami, with Jadeja being a second spinner, will be the way to
Yeah.
go. I don't see any other
But
combination. being
my
good.
point.
That's
on
also
this
the best
is-
balance if you look at it.
Yeah, my point on this is, I think Deepak Chahar would be bitterly disappointed. He won us a game in Sri Lanka single-handedly.
He is a world record holder.
Clearly
the best
overperformed
figures in
Bhuvneshwar
T20.
Kumar in that Sri Lanka tour. He's not there. I really don't know why we've been hanging on to Bhuvi. He is a finished product in my opinion. Finished.
And where did
in the
where did
sense.
Shami come into this?
And
When did
yeah,
he last
more than
play
that,
T20?
I think
Yeah,
Shami, they got
I
him for
genuinely
experience.
want to
So, I would
come
like
in
just-
here. Okay.
Okay,
I mean,
Piyush is leaving us. So yeah, see you,
Yep.
Piyush.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
Just one wish that Virat Kohli gives the captaincy to Rohit Sharma.
already
Chalo,
Dhoni
see
has
you
stepped
guys.
in.
Chalo, see you
Yeah.
guys. Piyush will
Yeah.
drop out and we'll continue
Yep.
back on that Bhuvi point. So yeah, so that's the reason. I mean, why is Bhuvi in the team? And I think even
Now, more than
even
Bhuvi, I think Mohammad Shami was lucky
Yeah,
to find
Shami
his
is
spot in the team.
the
Shami is
really.
also
Because Shami
someone that-
has been,
Hmm.
he leaks a lot of run. He's not a kind of bowler who will give you 2 overs at death.
even
If
someone
pitch
like
is
Siraj,
good,
you
he'll
guys
probably swing a ball. I think the kind of bowler which we are missing, we have
Avesh Khan.
right arm fast bowler. the kind of bowlers we're missing are left armers.
Chetan
Probably
Sakaria
could
should
have
have
given
been
a
Sakaria or
Please don't
given a view
say-
to Sakaria or
Ah.
Natarajan.
Natarajan.
Natarajan-
Chetan Sakaria
But
or
Natarajan
Natarajan
been
did
injured
well.
still.
Natarajan has been
Wait, Natarajan
injured
has been
and
injured.
he hasn't been
He's
bowling
back
at
now.
You
all.
He's
want
back
to
now,
have
but
that
Natarajan
option,
did
right?
really
You want
well.
to have that
Yeah.
option, exactly. If you are
I
picking
think
a backup
Natarajan
he
would
was
have
bowler,
taken
certainly
them
played
in
if he was
reserves.
fully fit.
exactly,
He hasn't been fully fit and he's not
But
expected
this
to
Chetan
be
squad
fit
is
Sakaria-
by
not
that
final.
time.
To be very honest, this
Sakaria?
squad is not final.
Yeah, you can
time
change
but
it
they
up
won't
to
change.
10th October.
10th
But
October.
But I don't think
rarely
they'll change it.
change.
Like वो तो बोलने की बात है,
The only squad
Look,
that
guys,
might
I want to
change
just make
is,
one point on Natarajan. He had a bad knee injury. He had surgery. He has to recover fully. And any kind of long injury for a fast bowler, they need to be match fit before playing again. And BCCI
Yeah,
has
I
a rule
understand.
regarding
I understand.
players who
It
come back
makes
from
sense
injury.
Natarajan not being there.
So I think
I
for
agree.
the longer term future, he's only 30. He's 30. If he gets injured again, then his career is over. So you have to manage him well.
Yeah.
I
You
think
had
Chetan
so.
to
Sakaria
have
would have
taken
been-
Chetan Sakaria as a
Yes,
10th
yes, I
option
like
bowler
that
because
guy.
you
He's
don't
But
a-
have
instead
a
of
left
who?
armer.
But instead of who?
He would have
Varun
been really
Chakravarti.
well on those pitches.
Varun
But I
Chakravarti.
think the
Clear.
one
Varun
shocker
Chakravarti
which
is
we all
useless.
feel,
I think the
he's
reason
not.
they
He
picked
did
Varun
really
is-
well last year in UAE, I think. Varun Chakravarti took
Then
around
Shami.
70 to 18
Yeah,
wickets.
Varun was
Fluke
one of
performance,
the
Shami, I
leading
think
wicket
Shami was
takers in
lucky.
UAE.
I think just two surprises to me. Number one was not finding Yuzi Chahal in that squad.
Yeah,
I just
that
saw the
was,
stats. I just saw the stat. He didn't perform well in last 3 years. He averaged in mid 30s, but he did well in UAE in IPL, and he has been doing really well for Royal Chennai Bangalore. So
I'm
this was a
surprised, yeah.
shocker to not find
I-
Yuzi Chahal over there. And second one was Deepak Chahar as a reserve bowler. He should have been there in the team, and Mohammad Shami should have been reserve bowler. So
I
only
would
these
want
two
to know what
things.
Kohli had to say on the table for Chahal, right? I think in the first phase of IPL, Kohli used Chahal all over the place. So उसने उसको power play में try किया, फिर power play के बाद try किया. It didn't work out very well. But then I feel like Chahal is like Kohli's number one bowler, and I'm very surprised that Kohli didn't take him.
Yeah,
because
How
very
it
nice,
will
yeah,
be in the
yeah.
RCB
in the
camp, it'll be
previous
funny,
India
like-
squads, in the previous India squads, Kohli's always had an RCB quota kind of players. Like Saini was rushed into the team, then
Yeah,
Siraj
but
came.
Dhoni's
Siraj
back,
obviously
no?
did well.
I think
But,
another thing we should think is that with IPL Part 2 being in UAE, I mean, usually for IPL, all players are really up to perform because that gives you kind of a gateway into the Indian team. But guys who have not been picked, do you think this will affect some of their performances in the IPL?
Yes,
Might.
Ambati
More
Rayudu.
determined
I don't
Do you
really think. I
remember
don't
Ambati
think because
Rayudu?
there is
Nice.
another T20 World Cup next year.
3D.
So
3D.
people who will
Yeah.
be performing well this year will
Exactly.
get a
Yeah, I
chance
think
next year.
I think as a
So,
yeah.
cricketer, the best they would think is just to give their best and then
Yeah,
see
ideally,
what
they
happens.
should take it as a, like how Rohit said
Challenge.
to DK in the interview that it is a needed kick up the backside and they should work hard to impress in the next two IPLs for the next year's edition.
Yeah,
Correct.
but I still think they've gone a bowler less and a spinner
Bowler less?
more. I mean, a
Spinner
pacer
too
less
much.
and
A pacer less, a
pacer
spinner
less
more.
and a
Ideally,
spinner more.
for I agree
Akshar
with
Patel
Udai that-
also, I think.
No, but
Go ahead,
Akshar
Darshan.
Patel, left arm, you don't have a backup to Jadeja. But I agree with Udai that Shami does not make any sense. He's never been a T20 potent.
That's
at all.
what I've said.
Like,
He's never been.
Avesh Khan was doing so well for
Harshal
Delhi
Patel?
levels.
Harshal Patel
Nee.
also.
Harshal Patel.
RCB.
I mean,
But-
I
but
honestly
the thing
think
is,
what
with
would
these
happen
guys
with
is-
if you added Afesh or Sakaria, already their team is like very youngster minded, IPL minded. So I think Kohli would want कि bowling में एक experience बंदा है, which is Shami
इतने
because
तो
actually
You already
experience है,
have
तुम्हारे पास
Bumrah and
Bumrah
Bhuvneshwar
and
Kumar.
Bhuvneshwar
Bhuvneshwar
Kumar.
Yeah,
and
no, but
If
Bumrah
you have got
already there.
Ashwin in the squad and Jadeja is a veteran
Ashwin
of
won't play,
test
so
matches
like-
now.
My problem with this team, the bowling is this looks like a side that can concede 180 to 200 very
If
regularly.
Bumrah has a off day, we are gone.
And Bumrah can have an off day. He has shown that he can.
But
go for
do
a-
you think that we'll go with 3 pieces? I don't really
Yes.
think with Hardik bowling 2 overs. I don't
Hardik,
really
but
think
his
we are
2
going to
overs
go
are
with
not
like.
guaranteed. Na? He's not
He will
guaranteed
bowl,
to bowl
he'll
2
still
And
overs.
bowl
we are
two
talking about
overs.
Hardik bowling
He
two
has
overs
to
as
bowl.
if
He's
the next
there in the-
incarnation of
he's-
Joffrey boycott or
He
Hardik
hasn't
also-
been doing well as
Virat
a
Hardik
loves
also gets
spacers,
batsman.
directed
man.
only anyway.
Virat loves spacers. There's no way he will bowl play an extra.
We have certain MS Dhoni now. Probably he will give some
He
gyan to
will have
Virat
no
Kohli.
influence. I'm telling you guys. He'll just be there to say, go on, boys.
I
and Virat
don't
will bowl.
understand
अरे
the
ऐसे आता
mentors
ही नहीं यार.
though.
He's
We
MS
have-
Dhoni. He wouldn't have come otherwise.
Yeah,
We have
Siddharth,
a
huh?
coach, we have batting coach,
Exactly.
bowling coach, fielding coach, and what is mentor for? समझ नहीं आ रहा.
mentor is for taking strategy, which Virat Kohli does not. So
Then what
basically,
is the
Virat
coach
Kohli
for?
is not a good captain to
See,
win tournaments.
our coach is
I
a
think
man
MS
of
Dhoni is.
fielding.
I think MS Dhoni is reserve for coach. अगर रवि शास्त्री को छूट जाता है फिर से, तो MS Dhoni will come in as a
Correct.
reserve.
No, I think our coach is a man motivator. He's not a
He's not a
technical
coach. He's a motivator.
He's a
Yeah.
motivator. He can
Then he is
like
the mentor and Dhoni is the
save
coach.
He cannot
boys and
outthink
Virat
people,
Kohli
yeah.
will get goosebumps and all those things. Those are the things that he's good at. But I think good that they
creating an
realized.
electrifying atmosphere in the dressing room.
And kudos to Virat to acknowledge that they probably needed some more help, and who better than
So all the
India's-
people who were speculating whether MS Dhoni will be part of next T20 World Cup squad, guys, he's here. He's finally here.
Yes, and there's some sense into it, and great. I mean, India's most successful captain ever in limited overs format. So it's great to have. It would be great to have him. I think the problem that India might face is bowling and getting hit for 180 to 200 to 220
Right.
runs against maybe not
England
in the group
against-
stage, because I think the squad that Pakistan have selected, I think they're probably going to change it completely by the next time, by 10th October.
There's one thing I like to add.
Hmm.
You were talking about Dhoni's input on the squad. The thing is, what I think is that both Dhoni and Kohli approach in a very different way. Like if you you have also said many times before in our discussions that how almost every player when Dhoni was captain used to bowl. There was very few players
Exactly,
in the team who were just individuals. Whereas in Kohli,
Mhm.
their players are more specialists. You see, he plays
Correct.
only 5 specialist bowlers. None of the bowlers are bowling. So I don't know how this, this different school of thought, how actually they'll be
I
able to
think,
work together.
Pranav, I think that answer would be like with something like, I think what with Kohli also needs is that Kohli is known to tinker, correct? Kohli does
Right.
not. So to win a
Keep the
tournament,
same.
you need to have a team that builds a momentum. The best example I always give is Shane Watson playing with a bloody knee on one leg after bombing the entire IPL, wipes the floor in the semi-finals and the finals because Dhoni had told him that you are not getting dropped no matter what.
Yeah, so
So when
basically
a
we need a
player
good
has that
first team. A
confidence-
set first
Exactly.
team we need.
And
I think
that's what
that-
Dhoni will help Kohli with, that this is your 11 and stick by it. It's
Yeah,
okay if some matches go
Dhoni
here
was
or
someone who
there.
never tinkered with the 11 much,
Yeah,
if
he
at all.
didn't even tinker in the CSK horrible season. He's just stuck with most of them. I mean, so
And that's how
yeah.
Ruturaj Gaikwad did well, to be honest. Like everyone
Yes.
said, drop
Yeah.
Ruturaj, and then he's come up to be like a sensation.
Yeah.
But that's not how Dhoni captained 2007 and 11 World Cups. He changed the team a lot. If you see,
No, but
I think,
that
okay,
was
the core
because
of 6 or
of
7
more of
players-
injury
but
force changes.
those were tactical changes as well. I mean,
Yeah,
so for
tactical changes,
example,
yes, yeah.
but so for example,
One change,
Ashwin
I
comes
guess,
in
is
for
not a
this.
big deal.
Ashwin comes
Yeah.
Ah.
One
Yeah,
change
even
is not a
Mehra
big
was
deal.
dropped because he was injured. Like he was not dropped for performance.
he
like
had
So
a
Mehra
for
was
split.
very
example,
I think
he
Ashwin,
had
Yusuf
preserved
and
Raina. Yeah, Raina for Yusuf because he said Raina is more clutch towards the end, and then brought
And
in
he
Ashwin
bowls
because he
as
was
well.
different. So
Yeah.
those are tactical changes, but they always sort of made sense, or actually in hindsight they made sense because they worked out. That's it.
But basically, you knew Dhoni's 11. With Virat, you can never say. He can take 5 changes
That's also true.
in every game.
That's also true. But anyway, I think overall this looks quite a potent squad. I think I don't see there will be too many changes by 10th October. The
I
IPL
just hope
obviously is
Mohammad
gonna-
Shami gets injured in IPL and we get back Deepak Chahar. That's the only change.
or
which I would want to see.
Shardul for that matter. Even both are
Yeah.
fine. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
okay with both.
So I think mostly Shardul and Deepak Chahar, they'll be pretty disappointed to not make it, and especially obviously Yuzvendra Chahal would be pretty disappointed. But yeah, this is what we've got. We're going to back them to win the World Cup. The IPL is obviously going to be very, very important. So yeah, anything else?
These
Anyone wants
players
to add
should be
before we
trying
wrap
to
up?
perform. I mean, like who all have an outside shot at this moment in case of injuries. Dhawan would be one in my opinion.
Hmm.
He can try. I mean,
Even Chahal should try and bowl his heart out because, again, if we can change the
Correct.
squad till the
To
10th,
me, yeah.
I mean, anyone who's on the fringe, guys like them, should really make a case. And Iyer is anyway on.
Iyer, I
standby,
think,
so
is
that's not a
because of
problem.
his injury. Otherwise, I think Iyer would have
Yeah.
made it. I think
No, Iyer
because he
is
got
think
injured
we
at the
need-
worst possible
It's just,
time.
we
As
don't
much
need
as
him
I like
right now.
Shreyas, I don't think we need him in T20. ODI team, I would.
I think
still
Surya
play
has
him.
taken that spot now
Yeah.
for good.
For
Till at
both.
least
I
he's
think
a
I
goal,
would,
yeah.
I would be loving to see Kishan in the IPL because I think he has a very, because he's in the squad as a backup opener, but he can also be a backup wicket keeper if like one of them have like off days
Yeah.
or whatever. So I would, if Kishan has like a really good IPL, then it'd be interesting to see if he can go into the 11. So I think that would be something really nice.
Yeah.
Any
Huh.
thoughts for a player like a Padikkal or someone? Like I'm just like throwing names out there because in
It-
case
it
you
will
want
be
to love.
Too early. I think
left
he's
field
still.
for someone
Yeah.
like Kohli, I think. And again, the point was, I think it was more about who do you leave out rather than who do you get in. Because so many players in this 15 just made their names. Like I think the top 7 and 3-4 around them, Kishan, Bumrah, all these. I think 10 to 11, 12 people out of the 15 actually were pretty set. I think the surprise is obviously Ravichandran Ashwin, big surprise. I hope he does well.
I
both in the
think
IPL
I
and then-
personally feel that it's because Ashwin. I think it's what you were saying, Malay, that if people are getting carted around, I think Ashwin is a reliable option. Is what I personally
Correct.
feel. That, for example, if you are playing a team like England, which has got left-handers, which is known for weakness against spin and is known for explosiveness. If your Bumrah and your Bhuvi have an off day, and Jadeja isn't working, you have an Ashwin to turn to at least stem the flow of runs, can do something.
But you know,
different.
Ashwin has barely been playing T20 cricket even for India. So
No, yeah.
it's a kind of a risky selection. Or maybe they just taken him.
Like he's currently the best he's the best spinner of this generation. Like without a doubt.
Yet he's being
so I think that carries some
he's
weight.
being benched in the test
It's
matches.
like-
I mean,
That
and maybe
is because Virat
I
Kohli
personally
is
think
fast bowlers.
I personally think he's been taken in the spot just so that people don't think that there is some animosity between him and Virat.
No,
I
that's
still don't
stupid. I think.
still
I think
so.
how Rohit was dropped from Test in the middle, and then Rohit came back into the Test squad, even though he was a number one like LOI player, and then he obviously done well in Test. I think that's what they're looking for Ashwin to do. Ashwin has established himself in Test. I think he's highest in confidence right now. So I think obviously, and he can play LOIs. It's not a big secret, right? And obviously, he's economic. I think he's a very economical bowler.
Correct.
I think
IPL,
that's an important point that you made.
He won't give
yeah.
you 2-3 wickets every game. He won't give you 2-3 wickets, but then he'll come if a bowler gives like 12 runs and over, and another bowler comes again, he also gives 10-12. Then if Ashwin comes, then they look out to play out Ashwin, give only 3-4 runs and over, which is what you need to like break the momentum. And he's done that for DC as well. That's how Rishabh Pant uses him. Rishabh Pant has never asked Ashwin to bowl 2-3 overs in a row. He asked Ashwin to come in the middle, bowl 1 over in the middle, break down runs, and then
Not
brings him on
Rishabh
again
Pant,
later.
Ricky Ponting.
DC fans are too much into
Sid, one point I would like to say is that I think Ashwin doesn't play LOIs not because I mean it's a secret. Of course, he will probably walk into the team. I think it's because of his fitness. I mean, like
that's why I think he will
down.
not play. His fielding is very, very poor. He's very labored, and in T20s, you anyway don't keep slips or catching wins, so you can't even hide him there like you would hide him in a test match.
Man, look at Chahal's fielding. If Chahal could field, then Ashwin can.
He's still more mobile than Ashwin. Ashwin really looks like he's a 50, 60-year-old grandpa on the pitch.
Chahal used to field a third man and drop
not in
catches.
terms of fielding only. I just feel that Ashwin's body now gets more injured. Like
he does.
Even at the end of a test series season, he kind of gets injured. You know, we kind of
and last two Australia tours also he's been injured.
But then
the World Cup
is to 1 month thing, right? World Cup is like a 1 month thing. Games are back to back, so you want your best. Like you're not worried about.
Yeah, correct. So
I
think
don't
we
mind
have
Ashwin
good
at
cover.
all.
I also don't mind. It's a selection. It could be an inspired selection. We'll see. So yeah, that's pretty much what we have for you. India's 15 has been selected. Obviously, back-to-back episodes
16
coming.
has been selected.
Yeah, 16.
Please, let's not
there.
forget.
Yeah, that was a big news.
The goat in the room, not the elephant. The goat in the room.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been great news, and so that's what all we have time for on this episode. We're going to have a review of the last test match as well, back to back. We're going to see how we upload them. So do keep watching us, to keep liking, sharing, subscribing, and
just to Malay's point, it's a time that the greatest number 7s are returning to Manchester's and India's. Right? It's just amazing time.
Is Antonio Valencia back at Manchester United?
Hey, George Best is dead, man. He's not coming back from the grave.
Anyway, chalo, see you guys. Thank you so much for joining, and take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye guys. Thank you.
See you.